G'day and welcome to this 28mm Ancients Battle Report using my current favourite rules, Triumph. In today's dust-up, Polybian Romans will take on Han Chinese. In the pre-game setup, the Chinese lost the manoeuvre role. This meant that they got to dictate where they'd make their stand against the Roman invaders. They chose hilly terrain. For the manoeuvre role, they came up on top, so they were the attacker. This meant that they got to define the pieces of terrain to be placed on the table. They chose a large steep hill edge piece, two small gentle hills and a small wood. A random terrain card is now pulled and the pieces of terrain are placed on the table as per the numbering on the card. So you can see here with the card that the large edge steep hill must sit along this edge. The forest must touch these two edges of this section of the table. The gentle hill is in the centre and the other gentle hill must touch these two edges of this section of the table. With the terrain down, let's move over to deployment. Let's first look at the Roman deployment and their plan. They've deployed the bulk of their heavy foot, 3 units of heavy foot standard legion, 5 units of elite veteran legionaries with the red shields, and a single skirmisher base over here. On the opposite flank, they've brought along 2 Gaelic units of bad horse, and they've got their light infantry, the Velites, right out on the flank. So the hill is going to be a problem for them because it's going to break up their command distance, and also units on the hill get a +1 for defending. So I think the basic plan will be come up, march the hill, push forward with their block of elite infantry, and then attack the hill from 2 sides while simultaneously coming through here. These Lightfoot will grab the hill and these cavalry will plug the gap and try and stave off any Chinese counterattack. On the Chinese side of the table, they have 3 units of mounted, 2 of which are horsebow, 1 is a JF-Cav. Then they have some bow levy, which are okay at fighting horse, but they're dross at fighting anything else. In the centre, they have 2 units of provises, which are spearmen backed by crossbowmen, so they can actually shoot. They're quite a big block of infantry, but they're quite handy, and they have their general in between them. So if they sit on the hill, if they can shoot at something and force it back, it may leave the central unit sitting exposed for a chariot charge. Following on from there, we have a unit of heavy infantry, a unit of raiders. Those are both good fighters. And then out on the flank, we have 2 units of light infantry, a unit of bow levy, some JF-Cav, and a skirmisher. This is quite a weak flank for them, so what they can hopefully do is move the JF-Cav around to forestall the Romans, form up in a line and put their skirmisher out in front and hopefully draw one of the Romans' infantry out so it can be better attacked. The problem with that is the Romans do have a battle card which is hold the line for their elite troops, so they can actually stay in formation. But that would be the worry for the Chinese, that flank there. Right, let's kick into turn 1 and see how this battle goes. The Chinese will be using black dice for the game, the Romans red. First pip roll, 4. So I think the Chinese want to capture the hill as quickly as possible. So they're going to move this whole line up. Actually, they will just move. These boys up for one, and then until they come within 8 MU of the enemy, they can make a second move. So they are going to make a second move and get to the top of the hill, so they can get a bonus for defending it. So that's cost them another one. I think they'll move their cavalry up to there for one more. We need to sort this out. I think they're just going to fire their skirmisher up there. Now, right. Over to the Romans. There you've got just one pip. There's no point rushing forward in the centre with that. I think you're just going to move their light foot over to the hill. Back to the Chinese. 3 pips. That's given them a bit of time to sort this side of the line out. So, you go 1. Two, 3. We actually might move these back so they form a group. Try and save us some pips next time. Romans again. 6. They're an army of extremes. This is looking very daunting. After my first game, I found out archery can be a bit of a pain in the ass. But let's stick with the plan. And the plan was to pull your bootstraps up and go in hard here. So let's go. That's 1. 2. 3. 3. You might as well go with them. 4. 5. Right, turn 2 for the Chinese. 6. Big rolls all round. This is looking like a bit of a problem for the Chinese. The issue being, once again, I've stuffed up my deployment, is these horsebow have better factors against those, whereas this Jav Cav has better factors about those. So it's going to be a massive rejiggle of the Chinese lines, I think. We've got a bit of time on this side because the Romans will take some time to get there. So if I move these up for 1, 2, oh yeah, we could do it. We could do it. It's doable. So we're going to wheel, go to here and wheel again. That's 1. These boys are going to go to there. In triumph, to move a unit around and lap the flank like that, you have to be outside the unit's flank lines. So that's why I'm placing this here, so I cross both of these units to stop them wrapping my flank and stopping me from retreating. That's cost me another 1. Right, I've got 4 pips to get in order down here, ready for the Romans. We're going to move these 2 up for 1. The light foot is going to scout around and protect these boys. It's cost me another 1. And the next to useless bow levy is boost up there in the hopes of giving a crazy out for that. In Triumph rules, these can only actually move 2, but in their fantasy version they've altered it to 3, and I think it's probably a better, fairer movement for them, so I've opted to house rule that. Right, let's see what the Romans can do. 1, yeah, they are extreme. 161. That's put a real spanner in their works, to be honest. I think what they'll do is they'll just expand out 1 there so they can move that whole thing as a group. Actually, no, they won't do that. Because if they do, this boy is going to get smacked in the flank. So, and he can't move because he's in the forest. So the general can't see him, he needs 2 pips. So that's a bit of an issue. This boy is going to have to go here, and those slingers just better pull their pants up because they're going to get a smacking. Right, Chinese. 1. Well, if it's only 1, let's have some fun. In you go, boys. First combat of the game. There you can find the other dice. Oh, there it is. Both are 2, but this poor fellow is flanked. So 2-1 for the Chinese. The Chinese go to 4 and the Romans go to 2. First fight, first death. I like it. And they fell up because they doubled. Romans. They can't win. Right, 1 pip. I think after much deliberation, we'll move to here. The downside of doing that is I've moved out of command, but and I've left this guy alone on the hill. But you've got to do what you've got to do. Over to the Chinese. Oh. Jeez, I hope my combat dice is as good as my pip dice, huh? You've got to go in to win. So I say these boys just track on in for 1. We want this guy to go to here. Keep out of the range of this guy lapping him, but stop this guy lapping into there. But we also want to give those lads some room to fall back if it all goes wrong. I'm not overly keen on coming forward with the Chinese line because I really want to leave room for us to lap there. But in the scheme of things, I think I'll put this guy here. Draw another one. I think this guy. Now they won't form a group, but they will offer neutral support. That's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I lied. I tell a lie. It's 4. So we're down to 2. 1. He's nearly kept caught up. And saying that, I think I'm just going to inch the whole group forward. So if things go wrong with the cavalry fight, the good old bow levy can jump in and lend support. This is not going to be good here. Not happy days. Combat. Chinese turn, they pick where they want to go. I think they'll try here. Now they're horse bow 3 versus bad horse 2. So they're 1 up. So it's not quite enough because 2 goes to 3 and 3 goes to 5. So they're just going to force them back. However, it is now a 1-3, which doesn't look good for the girls. Again, it's not a double because they get to 6-4, so they're just going to go back. So the girls are having a what the moment and recalling and regrouping. Over to the Romans. Six. 1, 6, 6, 1. Jeepers. Because these dice got any other numbers on them. Here we go. Let's not mess about. That's a bit of a problem. We might leave him back. So that's cost us 2. 1 for the line and 1 for this young fella. I'm going to stick with the 1. Two. It's just enough to protect him. Three. 4. 5. And that's it. We haven't got another move. 6. We'll just not make contact. But that guy's going to struggle to do anything. We do have a bit of shooting. Let's go here, 3-3. That's bad. 5 and 3 is 8. 3 and 1 is 4. Jeepers, I'm getting educated about bowling, that's for sure. Or I'm playing the rules completely wrong. One of the two. It is dicey tactics, not Professor General's master moves. 3-3. That's a stick. The Gauls are back for another crack. The generals have come up and said, "Get stuck in, lads." So at this stage, 2, 3 overlapped, 2-2. Let's go here. Come on, boys. Oh yes. They've pulled it off. Same again. 2-2. They didn't pull it off this time though. They they got smacked. Chinese turn. 3. They've got different numbers from 6 and 1. Well, they're definitely not keen to fight here because they're going to lose. And they're in trouble here. So 1, 2, and we can only move, because he's locked, he can only move 2 MU. So he can get back to there. He can't go into contact with that young man, but he, by the same token, he's got issues. He can choose who he fights though, so he might just risk it. If he loses, he dies, but neither of them have got the uphill advantage. Shooting. These boys will target these boys. No. 6s. These boys here. 6s. Well, I don't know whether to love or hate these guys. Over here, we have combat. Jav Cav is 3 versus foot. Lightfoot is 2. I don't think either has got uphill bonus. 6 and 1. Dead. Oh, the Romans are taking a hiding. And that's a double, so he's going to come forward. I don't think he's... I'm throwing this red dice in the bin. That was a good get out of jail for the... cavalryman over there in the corner. Let's see what the Romans can do for pips. Is it going to be a 6 or is it going to be a 1? It's going to be a 3. Good gravy. Well, here's one. I used to think my Roman army was hard, but the Chinese are certainly giving it a sorting out. Two down the far end there. Three. We don't want these boys. We don't want these boys on the flank, hiding behind the trees, getting up to mischief while we destroy their centre. Shooting. I should have pointed out first, but we're going here. That's a pushback, and these boys will shoot here. They don't really want to, but they have to. I didn't get anything. Let's attack the central scrum first. I think the Romans will start here where they've got their best bet. 5 versus 3. 4 versus 7, they're going to go back. I think they might move to here now, because if they can get a double overlap on this guy, it's a good chance they'll kill it. So this will be a 4-5. And that looks like it's going to be the way, because 4 is 7, 11, so they're going to go back. So now we have a double overlap here. So 3 double overlap down to 1 place 5. So they get to 10, get to 5, but these guys have got 10, so it's not enough. They're dead. First blood for the Romans. Maybe they'll make a late comeback. Who knows? And then over here, we're going to say these boys are 4, but they have the uphill advantage 5. But they're overlapped back down to a 4. And these guys are 5 overlapped 4. So it's a 4-4. Anybody's game. But not the Romans. Back you go. Last combat out in the flank there. Romans want revenge. So they are 2, uphill 3, fighting 3 to the flank 2. So 3-2 to the Romans. Of course. 6-8, they'll be going back. Over to the Chinese. Four. Now they've got a few problems, like this gaping hole in their line. So it's whether to ignore that and push on and win the game. They have killed 9 points, so they still need 2 stands. They've got issues with their cavalry there. One, two. I think this is the obvious one. We're coming down and crashing into you. It's 1. Three left. Two. 3. We try and buy some time there by stopping them, lapping around and hoovering us up. Right, shooting. I think there's only one there. This guy here. No. We only have one combat, which is the general. Chariot versus foot 2, general 3, uphill 4. Heavy foot versus mounted 3, double overlapped 1. This is not going to go wrong. Here's the traditional Roman 1. So these boys are dead. And these fellas come crashing through. The Romans just 1 stand away from breaking now. Let's see what pips they can pull out of the bag. 3. 1, 3 or 6. You choose. The general can see these guys so they can move for 1 pip, but they're not in a group, so it's individual moves. And the problem with contacting these is because they're not in a group, these units don't have to conform, so it's going to cost the Romans a lot of pips to get in here, but that's their best opportunity for some quick kills. Okay, I think they're going to go there, and then they can get to here. and they'll go to there. That's their 3. We have him shooting over here in the far corner of the screen. 6-3. These boys are just going to go back. Fight here. This will be a 3 overlap 2 verse 5. 10-6. Not enough. So they'll just go back. And then we have the bow levy right over on this side of the screen. So they are 2 fighting infantry, plays 5. Come on, Romans, come on. So the Romans get to 6, and the bow levy gets to 8. Shameful. That's what it is. Damn crossbowmen. Right, can the Chinese mop up the Romans this turn? 2, probably not. I think the general will go in here for 1. And these boys will go in here for 2. There's no shooting and just 2 combats. Let's go with this one. So they still have the slight uphill, so they will be heavy foot 4, uphill 5, plays 5, overlap 4. So 5-4. Traditional Roman 1. It's a win but not a kill. Now the big roll, chariot versus foot is 2. With the general makes them 3. The legionaries are 3 but flank 2. So it's 3-2. Unfortunately, chariots quick kill infantry, which they do. No. 5 3s 15. They're still in the game. They're still 1 pip in the game. Good gravy. All right, Romans, pull your bootstraps up. It's time to rally around the standard and roll something other than a 6 or a 1. Oh yeah, 2. Well done. 2. Well, I think all they could do is try their luck here again. Surely it will change. There is some shooting, but it was to no effect. Okay, 5-3. Let's go. 9-5. Not enough. Too little, too late. Two 5. Come on, boys, don't embarrass yourselves. Yeah. You got your pants pulled out again. Jesus, I didn't think you wore pants. 6-7. So much for my theory that bow levy were crap. Right, over to the Chinese. 1. Huh. Well, the chariot is leading by example. I actually missed the shooting over there, but it's we won't worry about it. Only 1 combat, and that's the game. Chariot versus mounted is 3, general 4, plus 6 is 10. These guys are 3, general 4, overlap 3, and 3 is 6. So 10, 6, they must turn to face and recoil. They can't, they die. So the Chinese wiped the walls and killed the general. I've not played my Chinese army. Actually, I painted it and it's been in the cabinet. I didn't think it would be as good as it was. I always thought my Roman army was the power army. I've been under the impression that elite foot are hard to beat, mainly because I've played them against my Spanish army. But there you go. It didn't help that they only rolled 6 and 1s, but the Chinese plan worked kind of well. They came through here and the Romans tied them up, but on the hill, the archery and the chariot in the centre, I quite like that scheme. They pushed the supports away and then charged in with the chariot. Here, it should have gone all wrong for them, but somehow the man of the match, the Beau Levy, just said F you to the Romans and pushed them away. So, well done, Beau Levy. That about wraps up another video. Thanks for watching.